The first $100,000 is a B. Those weren't my words. They came from Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's right-hand man and one of the most brilliant investors in history. And you know what? He was absolutely right. But here's what most people don't tell you. After you hit that first $100,000, something magical happens. Your money starts working harder than you do. Your net worth begins to skyrocket, and wealth building transforms from an exhausting uphill battle into an accelerating downhill race. If you're grinding right now, putting away every spare dollar, wondering if you'll ever get ahead, this video is going to change everything for you, because I'm going to show you the exact mathematical and psychological reasons why that first $100,000 is the hardest milestone you'll ever hit, and why everything gets exponentially easier after that. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal the 3 traits that Charlie Munger identified in people who reach $100,000 fast, and a step-by-step roadmap you can follow starting today. Let's dive in. The Charlie Munger wisdom. Before Charlie Munger passed away in 2023 at age 99, he left us with decades of wisdom about wealth building. And one of his most repeated pieces of advice was about this magical $100,000 threshold. Munger said, "The hard part of the process for most people is the first $100,000. If you have a standing start at zero, getting together $100,000 is a long struggle for most people." But then he added something crucial. But from there, it snowballs and you can ease off the gas. Think about that for a second. You can ease off the gas. This isn't just motivational fluff. This is mathematical reality from one of the greatest investors who ever lived. Warren Buffett, Munger's partner, echoed this wisdom when he talked about the power of compound interest. Buffett famously said, "Time is your friend, impulse is your enemy. Take advantage of compound interest and don't be captivated by the siren song of the market." But why is $100,000 specifically the magic number? Why not $50,000 or $200,000? And more importantly, why does wealth building suddenly become easier after you cross this threshold? The answer lies in something you probably learned about in school but never truly understood until it starts working for you: the exponential power of compound interest. Let me show you the numbers that will blow your mind. When you're starting from zero, saving your first $100,000 requires approximately 75% personal effort and only 25% investment returns. Think about that. You're doing 3/4 of the heavy lifting. You're the workhorse. Your returns are just along for the ride. But here's where it gets interesting. Getting from $100,000 to $200,000, now the flip dramatically happens. Your personal contributions drop to around 50%, and your investment returns start pulling equal weight. You're suddenly working as a team with your money. From $200,000 to $300,000, the balance shifts even more in your favor. Your contributions might only account for 35 to 40% of the growth, while compound interest is doing 60 to 65% of the work. And by the time you're going from $500,000 to $600,000, your money's doing almost 80% of the work while you're contributing just 20%. Let me give you a concrete example that makes this crystal clear. Imagine you're investing $650 per month. That's about $21.50 a day, or roughly what many people spend on lunch and coffee. With an average annual return of 7%, which is conservative based on historical stock market averages, here's what happens. To reach your first $100,000, it takes approximately 9.5 years. Think about that. Almost a full decade of consistent investing month after month, year after year. This is why Charlie Munger called it the hard part. This is the grind. This is where most people give up. But now watch what happens. To go from $100,000 to $200,000, it only takes 6.6 years. You shaved off almost 3 full years. Same contribution amount, same rate of return, but dramatically faster results. From $200,000 to $300,000, just 4.8 years. From 300 to 400,000, only 3.7 years. And from 900,000 to 1 million, a mere 11 months. Do you see what's happening here? Your wealth isn't growing linearly. It's growing exponentially. The curve is bending upward, accelerating with every milestone you cross. Let's look at another powerful example using the rule of 72. If you invest $100,000 at 10% annual average return, which is the historical average of the S&P 500, your investment will double every 7.2 years. After 7.2 years, your 100K becomes 200K. After 14.4 years, that grows to 400K. After 21.6 years, you're at 800K. After 28.8 years, you've reached 1.6 million. And here's the kicker. That's without adding another single dollar. Imagine what happens if you keep contributing during those years. This is why that first $100,000 changes everything. It's not just a milestone, it's a launch pad.
Finance. Why the beginning is so brutal. Now let's talk about why getting to that first 100K feels so impossibly hard, because understanding this will help you push through the toughest phase. Reason number one, the contribution to growth ratio. In the beginning, you're essentially fighting a war where you're outnumbered. Let's say you save $10,000 in your first year. With a 7% return, you earn just $700. Your effort contributed $10,000 and your returns gave you $700. That's a 14-to-1 ratio. You're doing almost all the work. But when you have $100,000 invested, that same 7% return gives you $7,000 per year. Now suddenly, your money is earning almost as much as some people save in an entire year. The psychological shift is massive. At $200,000, you're earning $14,000 per year in returns alone. That's more than many people save annually, and they're earning it while you sleep. Reason number two, the temptation factor. When you're starting out, $10,000 in your account feels like a reasonable amount to dip into for emergencies, vacations, or impulse purchases. Your brain doesn't view it as serious wealth yet. But $100,000, that number commands respect. It's harder to justify blowing money from a six-figure account. You start thinking differently. You start protecting it. You start thinking like a wealthy person. Reason number three, the motivation gap. Let's be brutally honest. Watching your account grow from $5,000 to $5,500 in a month isn't exactly thrilling. A $500 gain when you're working your butt off saving can feel deflating. You're thinking, I just worked extra hours for $800 and my investments only made $500. This is taking forever. But watching your account jump from $100,000 to $110,000 in a single year, that's $10,000 in gains, a number that feels substantial. Suddenly, investing becomes exciting. You're motivated to keep going because you can see the machine working. Reason number four, life gets in the way. When you're building your first 100K, you're typically in your 20s or 30s. This is when life is most expensive and chaotic. Student loans are crushing you. You're trying to build a career with a relatively low income. Maybe you're getting married, perhaps buying your first home, possibly starting a family. Credit card debt might be lingering. Every dollar you save requires sacrifice. You're saying no to things others say yes to. You're driving the older car. You're skipping the trendy restaurant. You're living below your means while your peers are living at or above theirs. This is the gauntlet you must run, and most people don't make it through. The three traits of people who get to 100K fast. Charlie Munger didn't just tell us that the first 100K is hard, he also studied the people who got there faster than others, and he identified three crucial traits they all shared. Trait number one, they were rational about money. These people didn't follow the crowd. They didn't buy the newest iPhone every year just because everyone else did. They didn't lease luxury cars they couldn't afford. They didn't rack up credit card debt for vacations they'd still be paying off months later. Instead, they asked rational questions. Will this purchase move me closer or further from my goals? Is this a want or a need? What's the opportunity cost of spending this money? They understood something crucial. Every dollar you spend today is a dollar that can compound tomorrow. That $5 latte isn't just $5. It's the $38 that $5 could become in 30 years if invested at 7% returns. Being rational doesn't mean being cheap or miserable. It means being intentional. It means playing the long game while others are playing the short game. Trait number 2, they were opportunistic. People who reach 100K fast don't just save, they strategically increase their income and decrease their expenses whenever opportunities arise. They were opportunistic about career moves. When a better paying job appeared, they took it even if it meant leaving their comfort zone. Side hustles, they turned their skills into extra income streams. Freelancing, consulting, selling products online, whatever worked with their schedule and abilities. Expense reduction. When they found a cheaper insurance rate, they switched. When a subscription wasn't providing value, they canceled it. They constantly optimized their financial life. Investment opportunities. When the market dipped, they didn't panic. They saw an opportunity to buy assets on sale. When they got unexpected income, tax returns, bonuses, gifts, it went straight to investments, not to increase the spending. The opportunistic mindset is about having your eyes open and being ready to act when chances appear. Trait number 3, they lived below their means. This is the big one. This is the trait that separates the wealthy from the broke. People who reach 100K fast understood something that sounds simple but is incredibly difficult in practice. You cannot build wealth while spending everything you earn. They didn't fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. When they got a raise, they didn't immediately upgrade their lifestyle proportionally. Instead, they upgraded their savings rate. Here's a powerful framework they used, the 50-30-20 rule, but inverted. Most people spend 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. People who reach 100K fast flip the wants and savings. 50% on needs, 20% on wants, and 30% on savings and investing. Or if they're really aggressive, 50% on needs, 15% on wants, and 35% on savings and investing. Living below your means doesn't mean living miserably. It means living on less than you earn, so that the gap creates your wealth. That gap is everything. As Charlie Munger put it, it's not supposed to be easy. Anyone who finds it easy is stupid. The difficulty is the filter. It's what separates the people who build real wealth from those who just talk about it.
Finance. The compound effect in real terms. Let me show you what compound interest actually looks like in your life. Not just on paper, but in tangible, life-changing ways. Year 1 to 2. You're saving aggressively, and your balance grows from $0 to maybe $15,000 to $20,000. Your returns are around $500 to $1,000. It feels slow. You're wondering if this is worth it. Year 3 to 5. You're at $40,000 to $60,000. Now your annual returns are $3,000 to $5,000. You notice that you're earning in passive returns what it used to take you a full month of work to save. Something clicks. This is starting to work. Year 6 to 8. You cross $80,000 to $90,000. Your returns are now $6,000 to $7,000 plus per year. You realize your investments are earning more than some of your friends are saving in an entire year. The power becomes undeniable. Year 9 to 10. You hit $100,000. Your annual returns are now $7,000 to $10,000. This is where the transformation happens. You're not just building wealth anymore. Your wealth is building itself. Year 11 to 15. You're at $200,000 to $300,000. Your annual returns are $15,000 to $25,000. That's more than many people earn in a part-time job. Except you're earning it passively while doing absolutely nothing. Year 16 to 20. You cross $500,000. Your returns alone could be $35,000 to $50,000 per year. You could theoretically stop contributing entirely and still become a millionaire through compound growth alone. This is why Charlie Munger said you can ease off the gas. Not because you should stop being smart with money, but because your money has finally reached the critical mass where it works harder than you do. The psychological shift. Beyond the math, something profound happens psychologically when you hit $100,000. You start thinking like an investor, not a saver. Before 100K, you're in accumulation mode, just trying to build the pile. After 100K, you shift into optimization mode, thinking about asset allocation, tax efficiency, risk management. You've graduated from saver to investor. You develop financial confidence. 6 figures in the bank gives you confidence that bleeds into other areas of life. You negotiate harder for raises because you have FU money. You take calculated career risks because you have a safety net. You don't tolerate toxic work environments because you have options. You join a different conversation. Once you're at 100K, you're having different conversations. You're talking about investment strategies, not struggling to pay bills. You're thinking about tax-advantaged accounts and index fund expense ratios, not overdraft fees and payday loans. You escape the debt trap. With substantial savings, you can handle emergencies without going into debt. Your car breaks down, you pay cash and move on. Medical emergency, you have the funds. This alone saves you thousands in interest charges that used to evaporate your wealth before it could compound. You attract more opportunities. Wealth attracts wealth. When you have capital, you can take advantage of opportunities others miss. A friend starts a business and needs investors, you can participate. Real estate deal with high returns but requires cash, you're in the game. The rich get richer partly because they have the capital to seize opportunities. Your roadmap to 100K. All right, enough theory. Let's talk about your specific action plan to reach $100,000 as fast as possible. Step 1. Get crystal clear on your why. Your why is the fuel that will keep you going when the grind gets tough. Why do you want 100K? Is it freedom? Security? The ability to quit a job you hate? To retire your parents? To travel the world? To start a business? Write it down. Make it specific. Make it emotional. This is your North Star. Step 2. Calculate your timeline. Use this simple framework. Monthly contribution, expected annual return, time to 100K, use a compound interest calculator. If you can save $500 a month at 8% returns, you'll hit 100K in about 11 years. $750 a month, about 8.5 years. $1,000 a month, roughly 7 years. Be realistic, but ambitious. Step 3. Automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from your checking to your investment accounts the day after your paycheck hits. Automate your wealth building so you never have to rely on willpower. Pay yourself first, always. Not last with whatever's left over, because there will never be anything left over. Step 4. Increase your income aggressively. Saving is important, but there's a limit to how much you can cut. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Options to explore. Negotiate a raise at your current job. Most people never even ask. Switch jobs for higher pay. The biggest raises typically come from job hopping. Develop a valuable skill and freelance on the side. Start a small business or side hustle. Create digital products or content that generates passive income. Every extra $100 per month you can invest cuts months or years off your journey. Step 5. Optimize your tax-advantaged accounts. Use every tax-advantaged tool available. 401k, especially if you get an employer match, that's literally free money. IRA, traditional or Roth, $6,500 per year contribution limit in 2024. HSA, if you have a high deductible health plan, this is a triple tax advantage. Backdoor Roth, if you're above income limits for direct Roth contributions. These accounts supercharge your wealth building by letting you invest pre-tax dollars or grow money tax-free. Step 6. Invest in low-cost index funds. Don't overcomplicate this. You don't need to pick individual stocks or time the market. Simple, effective strategy. 80 to 90% in a total stock market index fund like VTSX or FSKAX. 10 to 20% in a total bond market index fund for stability. Keep expense ratios below 0.10%. Every percentage point in fees is a percentage point not compounding for you. Step 7. Increase your savings rate with every raise. Here's the secret weapon. Every time you get a raise, immediately increase your investment contributions by at least 50% of that raise. Got a $300 a month raise? Increase your investments by $150 immediately. You still get to enjoy $150 a month more, but you're also accelerating your path to 100K. Step 8. Live below your means. The non-negotiable. This is where discipline becomes destiny. Cut the fat. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Cook at home more. It saves $200 to $400 a month easily. Drive your car until it dies. Avoid car payments when possible. Buy quality used items instead of new. Find free entertainment options. Every dollar you free up is a dollar that compounds. Step 9. Protect your progress. As your nest egg grows, build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund separate from your 100K goal. Get proper insurance, health, auto, life, disability. Avoid lifestyle inflation like the plague. Stay away from get-rich-quick schemes that could wipe you out. Step 10. Track and celebrate milestones. Celebrate every $10,000 milestone. This journey is long and you need positive reinforcement. $10,000? Take yourself out for a nice dinner. $25,000? Plan a small weekend trip. $50,000? You're halfway there. Celebrate meaningfully. $75,000? You're in the home stretch. $100,000? Pop the champagne. You've done what most people never will. The bigger picture. Here's what people miss about the 100K milestone. It's not actually about the money. Yes, the compound interest acceleration is real. Yes, the mathematics work beautifully. But the real transformation is who you become in the process. To reach 100K, you have to develop discipline most people don't have, make sacrifices most people won't make, think long-term while everyone around you thinks short-term, become rational, opportunistic, and frugal, Charlie Munger's 3 traits. These character traits don't just build wealth, they build you. The person who can save $100,000 is the same person who can build a multi-million-dollar portfolio. The person who can delay gratification for a decade is the same person who can achieve any long-term goal they set. The 100K milestone isn't the finish line, it's the starting line for the rest of your financial life. After 100K, you're not grinding anymore. You're optimizing. You're not surviving, you're thriving. You're not hoping for wealth, you're watching it compound before your eyes. And here's the beautiful truth that Charlie Munger understood. Once you build that first 100K, you can never go back to zero again. Even if you stopped contributing entirely, compound interest would carry you forward. You've achieved escape velocity from financial struggle. That's why it's worth every sacrifice, every skipped vacation, every old car you drove for an extra year, every time you said no when you wanted to say yes. Because on the other side of that